So in this video, I'm just going to give you some underrated games, pretty much tell all the games up here, but games I would recommend and why. So first of all, Paladins, it's like Overwatch, but with more characters, better gameplay, more customization, and overall, it's just more fun. There are certain reasons some people would like to play the game. Yeah, I mean, I'm not one of those people, but that's a thing. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty frequent, but who cares? There is a character that can go invisible. That's actually why I stopped playing the game. Who is it? These are the characters' names translated, but it was actually, I believe, Sky. Characters that go invisible are almost always annoying. Hate them very much. Overall, though, aside from the direct clones of other characters, like a short, red-haired person who builds red turrets with a hammer and has a shotgun, gee, I wonder what game has that. Aside from, NG from Deep Rock Galactic and Engineer from TF2, and I don't even know what his name is from Overwatch. It's so weird. What is with the dwarves, aside from TF2, with red hair, aside from TF2, who build red turrets with a hammer? I don't get it. And then here's my favorite clip from Paladins. Bomb King was my favorite character because you got a big fat bomb that stuns people, a funny bomb that bounces people around, and in this map particularly, you can just send them off the edge, which is hilarious. And you can place a bunch of bombs and detonate them around the corner, so you lure people back there and they die instantly. Next up, Rage 2. I don't know about Rage 1, never played it, but Rage 2 is amazing. It's a beautiful game, open world, super fun. I think this game needs so much more attention. I don't know why it's not more popular. It is one of the best games I've ever played. And just here's an example of the shit that you can of the shit you can do. Watch this. This was completely accidental, by the way. I mean, if that doesn't convince you that this game is beautiful, then I don't know what would. Immortals Fenyx Rising, such a good game, so underrated. It's good for hack and slash. It's good for exploration. It's basically just a different version of. It's like a combination of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. To be fair, I haven't played them, but from what I've seen, it's basically the same concept. The gear is really fun. You can make some builds. I've literally made a build that makes you pretty much impossible to kill, and you can fight anything but a boss on the highest difficulty with no effort, which just goes to show how fun it is. The abilities are fun. You can cheese a lot of the puzzles. I love cheesing things. There are a couple annoying parts of it, like these guys, forgot what their name is, because like Heracadicades or something, I don't know. They are quite annoying to fight, aside from using that one build where you just don't get hit if you're fighting them. And overall, it's just a beautiful game. Here are some screenshots from it I've taken. So there's actually a camera mode in the game where you can modify filters and things. So, really cool. I mean, look at this. How many games can you do this in? I know there is a few, like Monster Hunter, but I mean, that's just cool. And yes, the hammer does a ton of damage. That was a freeze frame. There's just some really crazy stuff that you can do in the game. Overall, I just highly recommend Fenyx Rising. And there's also DLCs. I don't like the DLCs much, but that's personal. And not really underrated, but Deep Rock Galactic, I mean, come on. How can I not mention Deep Rock Galactic in a video about some of the best games I've ever played? There are a few I would be leaving out in this video, but I'd say as for top 3 underrated games, Immortals Fenyx Rising, Paladins, and I already forgot it. Oh my god, my memory is terrible. Rage 2, right. Haven't played it in a while. Those 3 games are just so peak, and they're also all free on Xbox, at least with Game Pass. Deep Rock Galactic, you gotta play it, really. I unfortunately lost all my skill, which is very sad, but it is such a peak game. I think with Deep Rock Galactic, Paladins for something competitive, Deep Rock for something fun and goofy, and also pretty good for progression. Immortals Fenyx Rising for exploration and relaxation, just to kind of mess around and do whatever you want. And Rage 2, just for the quality of the game and fun of it. Those 4 games could probably last you years, because they are just so good. And the devs of Deep Rock Galactic, Ghost Ship Games, they are the best devs I've ever seen. That's like counterpart to Trailmakers, which, such a great game concept, but my lord, dumbest devs ever. Every update is worse or poorly timed, or they don't give you what you want, and they do give you what you don't want, or they give you what you want too late, or they give you what you want in the wrong way, and they just have terrible UI. It's just Trailmakers is the most failed game I've ever seen. It had so much potential to be fun, and even some parts of it are fun, and they just did everything else wrong. If it were properly designed and had good elements of the game, I'd be playing that shit 24/7. But no, because you can sort by servers with a password or without a password, but you can't sort by server region, so, you have to manually find ones in your area, because that makes a lot of sense. And you also can't filter out servers that are already full, because, why would you ever need to join a server that has open slots when you can join a server that doesn't? Oh, wait, you can't join those, right? Yeah, I'm not going to diss Trailmakers. I've made posts about how many things are bad about it. But go play Rage 2, Deep Rock Galactic Paladins, and... Okay, every time I can name 3, I always forget the other one. Oh my god. Immortals Fenyx Rising. Peak games, best games I've ever played. You just really gotta play them. I mean, there are... I guess they don't really... I don't know, I think they cover a lot of game styles. Aside from people who don't like combat, because they are all combat-based. I mean, that's the only kind of game I like. Yeah, those... I mean, no... Yeah, they're all about fighting. And you got styles ranging from this to the goofy and somewhat gory fighting of Rage 2, but Rage 2 has some of the most fun weapons there are. Okay, so if I recall correctly, this pistol shoots basically fire. When you snap, you just ignite something. I'm pretty sure this is the one that fires gravity darts, and then on command, you can basically just fling an enemy wherever you want. So you pump them full of darts, look in the opposite direction, and yeet them into the sky. And doing this, I've actually turned an enemy into fireworks. You just pump them full of the fire bolts, you pump them full of gravity darts, send them up, detonate. It's hilarious. Rage 2 is just so fun. The vehicles are fun, the guns are fun, the general gameplay is fun. The story was actually surprisingly good. I do not give a crap about story, but the Rage 2 story was somewhat interesting. I completely forgot by now, but yeah. The convoys are fun. Once I started getting bored of the game, because I get bored of games very fast, even though that's just a personal thing, you can just go around the map killing enemies and defeating convoys, and it's still fun to do. The drones are fun to fly around. There's different, it can be easy or hard at times. It's just an amazing game. I really don't know why it's so underrated. Also, shout out to X Defiant. Why the hell did they shut down the servers? I actually made a writing in my random ideas doc about just a game where you just go in and you shoot things. No abilities, none of this. Look at this. I just want a shooter. I just want a shooter. A clean, good shooter with no extra features where, like, if you don't want to play Valorant because of the players and because the abilities are mid and the recoil is weird, CSGO and R6, too sweaty for me. COD, not my style of game. Paladins, honestly kind of difficult and too much like magic stuff, even though I do like it. It's just not what I want to do at the time. I just want to go into a game, fight people with guns, and have a good time. X Defiant was such a good game at doing that. I could get in and shoot people. There were some sweats, but that was completely... I just didn't care at all, because it was such a good game, and they ruined it. Same thing with vehicle games. War Thunder, you need to pay for vehicles, and it's a lot more realism stuff. And aside from that, there really isn't many games that are simplistic, like get in a plane, your controls are movement, throttle, guns, rockets, and flares. Choose your terrain, throw in some AI, and just shoot things down. That's what I wanted to be able to do on Xbox. There's probably some games for that on PC, but not on Xbox. So yeah, all those games I mentioned, definitely check those out if you can. I highly